fans, the NBA playoffs are in full swing, and we have 3 elimination games on the schedule tonight. So it is win or go home for some of these playoff teams. These hoops have been incredible. Thanks for hanging with us. You're watching Fanduel Sportsbooks, More Ways to Win. I'm your host, Lisa Kerney, and welcome inside our sportsbook here at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. And we have, of course, our experts breaking down all the NBA action for you. Dave Weaver and Ed Egros are inside our Los Angeles studio. And, of course, as always, Andrew Filipponi joining us from Pittsburgh. What's up, guys? We're breaking down tonight's matchups along with the upcoming playoff games. Our guys are picking winners, betting player and game props for you, as well as dishing out some futures bets, including NBA champion. All bets you can hit up right now on the Fanduel Sportsbook app. You can take all our experts' information, use it to place your bets from your phone. Just download the Fanduel Sportsbook app, check out all the wagers we're talking about here on this show, and so much more. And, of course, new users, special fist bump just for you. Sign up for your new account using the promo code right there. More Ways 1,000. You'll get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Again, that's More Ways 1,000. All right, guys, let's get right to it. Dave and Ed, let's tip this thing off with the first game on the schedule tonight. We've got the 76ers at the Raptors, 7 p.m. Eastern time on NBA TV. The Raptors were down 3-0 in this series. They've won the last 2 games. Could this be an epic collapse by Philly? Dave, despite recency bias here, the 76ers are 1.5-point road favorites in this matchup. How do you feel about these Sixers? Who do you like in this matchup?
Well, yeah, I had a feeling that Toronto would be able to steal a game in Philly, and I thought in this Game 6 it would be the Celtics that would be facing elimination, but unfortunately for Toronto, they lost a home game in game number 3 in that very devastating overtime loss. But I don't see them losing 2 games at home in this series. I think they do make it 3 in a row, and one of the reasons they won Game 5 so easily is they prevented Philly from getting inside. They forced them into a series-high 37 threes in that game, and the Sixers only made 10 of them, and overall they only shot 38% for the field. So I think they can, once again, defensively just put too much pressure on Philadelphia and force this into a Game 7. I like Toronto.
Personnel is going to matter a good bit in a game like this, and I do not think we're making a big enough deal about Matisse Thybulle not being available for Philadelphia. He's not available to play in this game, and he's an outstanding perimeter defender, and he's a really good closer for the Sixers. And so now who's going to be that guy to kind of shut down Toronto, possibly shooting on the outside? I'm not sure there really is one. You know, Joel Embiid's, usually playing down low for the most part, and so that's going to be a problem. And I get Toronto not having Fred VanVleet is going to be an issue for them offensively, but look, the closer not being there for Philadelphia is going to matter a good bit, but this half-court offense matters a good bit when it comes to Toronto. Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, they've been great in transition, and then the other guys have been excellent supplementing that half-court offense. To me, I think Toronto can win this game and force a Game 7.
We'll see how this one plays out. Going to be a great one there. And, of course, in addition to betting the spread, you can also bet the total for this game. That over-under sitting there, guys, at 210.5. Ed, I'm going to start with you here. Are the 76ers and Raptors going over or under that number, 210.5?
I love the under in this spot. And what's interesting is you think about some of the big guys who can play for Philadelphia. Well, it turns out they're the worst team in terms of offensive rebounding rate. And so you're not getting those shorter possessions, those shorter shot clocks. And both teams played a slower pace of play anyway, both in the regular season and in the playoffs compared with everyone else who's made it this far. So slow pace, no offensive rebounding, take the under.
We've seen a lot of totals in these playoffs in the 230s. This one's 210.5 for a reason. This is just going to be a low-scoring game. Toronto's best chance of winning is something like 105 to 99, something like that. Both games in Toronto have gone under, and one of them went to overtime and still went under. So I just think they know that they need to control the tempo of this game, keep it slow, win it in a low-scoring game. I like the under as well. Ed and I, too much agreeing. What's going on?
Way too much.
Yeah, right. Let's get to some props here then. We got your picks for the spread, got your total there. Take on that. Let's shift now to some really fun player props for this matchup. And Dave, got to start with the player props with 76ers All-Star center Joel Embiid. Okay. You guys talked about him already. Is he going over or under 39.5 points plus boards? What do you think?
Wow, that really dropped. Wasn't that number like 46.5 when we covered him in Game 1? The market has adjusted, and for good reason. He has not been getting to the free throw line as much as he was during the regular season in this series. I mean, that seems low, actually, 39.5 compared to where it was. I don't think he's going to get it, though. I'm going to go under.
Okay, let's get to the Raptors top scorer there in Siakam. Ed, over or under 24.5 points for him? Just points there at 24.5.
Keep in mind, again, Fred VanVleet is probably not going to play in this game, and so the shots have to come from somewhere else. Not to mention, Pascal Siakam loves to drive the basketball, scoring in a variety of ways, has a high usage rate already that should go up in an elimination game, say that. And at home, I think there are enough reasons to take the over.
I try to avoid saying that word. All right, Dave. James Harden has averaged 9.2 assists in this series. His total is set here at 9.5. How do you play it?
You know, he only had 7 in his last game. I think baskets are going to be hard to come by. I don't think it's going to be fast break points where he usually gets a lot of his assists on the break. I think he's going to have to maybe be more of a scorer in this game than a passer. I just don't think he's going to hit that number. I'm going to stay under.
All right, should be an interesting one there in Toronto. Let's move on now and get to the second game on the schedule tonight. We got Phoenix and New Orleans taking on the Pelicans. This one tipping at 7:30 Eastern time on TNT. The Suns are up 3-2 in this series, but are still without their all-star guard there in Devin Booker. Dave and Pony, only one game in this series has been decided by less than 11 points. Been phenomenal basketball to watch here. Tonight we have Game 6. Suns are 2-point road favorites. Pony, give me your pick in this one.
I would download the Fanduel Sportsbook as quickly as you can and load up on Phoenix -2. I think Pelicans, their time has come, that they are finally going to come back down to earth. I'm watching Zion Williamson do all these 360 dunks and warm-ups, but they won't clear him to play. Booker's very close to returning, and even without him, they were able to go to New Orleans and win a game. And I think they'll do the same thing here. 2 points, way too low. Take the best team in the NBA, the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, it's taken a lot longer than I thought it would for Phoenix to get this series done. I thought they would sweep them, and I got to admit the Pelicans have been very pesty, especially Alvarado against Paul. The main positive, I think, that the Pelicans have had in this series is Valanciunas has been the leading rebounder in all of the playoffs, and he's been a little bit better than Ayton on the boards. But outside of that, I just think Phoenix is so much of a better team. And we talked about it throughout this show over the weeks that Phoenix is the best team on the road. I think they have no problem going to the Smoothie King Arena, which is going to be rocking, but they'll get the job done. I'm with you. Download that Fanduel Sportsbook app and do what Pony says.
I know you guys have been high on the Suns for quite some time as we tailed off those regular season games. So let's roll out now our prop party, and everybody is invited as always, guys. Pony, coming right to you for this one. Over or under 32.5 points plus assists for Suns guard Chris Paul. What do you think?
He would have gone under that number in 3 out of the 5 games that we've seen in this series so far. And you got to keep in mind, he's 36 years old. So when you have an inflated number like this, not a back-to-back situation, but still a lot of games in a condensed period of time, I think Paul paces himself, so I would take the under.
All right, Dave, this one's for you. Let's move to the Pelicans. Brandon Ingram here. Will he go over or under 25.5 points?
I think this is a bad line. I mean, he's averaging 28.2 his 2 home games. He's had 30 and 34. He's going to need to bring it throughout. He's a very good second-half scorer. He's clutch in the fourth quarter. If he gets any sort of a decent start, he should get 26 easy.
All right, Pony, let's get to the Suns big man who had a great series here. Over or under 10.5 boards for Deandre Ayton?
Well, he averaged 10 in the regular season. He hasn't averaged that many in this series, but one of the things I like for this prop to go over is the increased playing time. Ayton's minutes per game have gone up from 29 to 35 because of what Dave's talking about. You got Valanciunas and Nance, and you got some bigger bodies there for New Orleans. I think that helps him get over because of the increased playing time.
All right, finally, Dave, over or under 2.5 3-pointers made for C.J. McCollum?
It's been one of my favorite bets all year long with this guy. It's always his number, 2.5, and he usually goes over, and I think he'll do that again in here. He's averaging 9 threes attempts in the series and 3.2 made, so that math tells me he's going to get 3.
Okay, there it is. All right, now let's get to the third game 6 tonight. We've got Dallas and Utah. Tip scheduled 10 p.m. Eastern time on TNT. Dallas is up 3-2 and looking to close out the series after a 25-point win at home in Game 5. Mavericks are giving 1, a very tight line here. Ed, how do you feel about that number?
Here's the deal. Do not succumb to recency bias. I get that Dallas had a phenomenal defensive outing in Game 5, but a lot of that involved what they did to Donovan Mitchell. And yes, he may not be quite 100% in a game like this, but in all likelihood, he's going to go out there and play. Keep in mind, too, that bringing in Luka Doncic after injury, coming back, that's not helping this team defensively. He can do a heck of a lot of things offensively in isolation, but defensively, they actually take a bit of a step back when he's on the floor. And so to me, this is going to be a great opportunity for Utah to kind of get back to their bread and butter, shooting a lot of corner threes. I think they'll hit a lot of them. I like Utah on the money line and forcing a Game 7.
So do I. I think a lot of bettors just look at that line and get hoodwinked by what happened in the last game. Look, the Jazz shot 3 of 30 from 3. That was a first in NBA history. They're not going to shoot it that bad. I think there's a narrative out there that the Jazz players don't like each other, that they're not conditioned for playoff basketball. Well, Dallas blew a 3-2 series lead last year, and they're the worst scoring team in these playoffs. Go by the numbers. So I'm going to take the Jazz to force a Game 7, too.
All right, great stuff, guys. No player props listed for the Jazz at the time of taping this show. So we're just going to go ahead and focus on a couple Mavericks props and a game prop for this matchup. Let's get to both of you to pick out this one out here. Over or under 48.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. You guys talked about Luka Doncic earlier. Ed, I'm going to have you go first.
So when it comes to Luka, keep in mind that his usage rate has been 5th highest in the playoffs. Again, coming off of injury, and that's only going to go up because of his usual workload that you expect from him. Also, too, Dallas is probably going to play a good bit of small ball because it's tend to work against Utah in the playoffs. And so the rebound number is the key for me. I think Luka's going to be the one collecting a lot of those boards. That number will go up. You can expect a good points and assists number from him as well. I like the over.
Yeah, I'm going to go under here. It's his third game coming off an injury. I want to see how his body responds. You would think from an intensity standpoint, this is going to be the highest level of play we see from the Jazz. If it's not, then they should blow the whole thing up. So because the game is in Utah, I expect we get the Jazz's best effort, and I think that drives the Doncic number down.
Ed, I need you to talk to me about Dorian Finney-Smith here. Are we going over or under 12.5 points for him?
I think there are too many paths for the under here, partially because Luka could be creating a lot of his shots and could go off for 50 points in a game like this. Also, Dorian Finney-Smith could be more of a facilitator in terms of finding Jalen Brunson, finding Spencer Dinwiddie, or he could just not play that many minutes. Too many paths. I'm going under.
Okay, Pony, how about this game prop for you? What is the win margin of this one? You see the 4 betting options on your screen there.
Yeah.
How do you play this one?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of big payouts. I like rolling the dice. I'm a bettor. That's why I like the Utah Jazz to win this game by 11 plus 400. You know, this should be Donovan Mitchell. If he doesn't play, I will be absolutely shocked. I would be floored if he sat out an elimination game. And I think they'll shoot the 3 ball so much better. And, hey, they can score better than the Mavericks, and I think they'll have a hard time keeping up.
That's why I love you. You're a risk taker, Pony. I love it. All right, that's a look at all of tonight's games. We talked spread totals and even player and game props for you. Hit them all up now on your Fanduel Sportsbook app, or even better, everyone, get the full service experience right here at the Fanduel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Take a look inside. If you're in the tri-state area, this is the spot to be. Check it out. 2 levels of bars, food service, dozens of massive screens playing all the games. So you can bet and watch your favorite teams and players right here with us. So grab your friends and family and check out the Fanduel Sportsbook here at the Meadowlands. Open 7 days a week. You've got to get here and check it out. We absolutely love being here. Right now, we're going to get you back to the NBA playoffs and focus here on Friday's action, guys. Just 1 game on the schedule. We've got the 2nd-seeded Grizzlies taking on the 7th-seeded Timberwolves. This game in Minnesota. Tip 9 p.m. On ESPN. That is Eastern. Memphis up 3-2 in this series. Past 2 games have been decided by a combined 3 points. I said at the beginning of the show, we've had some great basketball here. Minnesota getting 1.5 points at home. Dave, do you like the T-Wolves in this spot?
No, I don't. You mentioned the last 2 games have been very, very close, but the first 3 games of this series have been blowouts, whether it was Minnesota or Memphis winning. I think we're back to a blowout here. Maybe not a blowout, but a pretty handy win for Memphis. Who is John Morant going to dunk on in this game? He has just been so phenomenal. You know, the Minnesota Timberwolves do have offense at times. They were the best scoring team in the regular season. But I think Memphis has them figured out, and they're going to be able to defensively stop what the Timberwolves want to do, and that is score 130 points. I think Memphis' offense is just that much better right now, just too much firepower. Morant, Bane has been incredible. So I'm going to say that this game is not going to be too close, and Memphis moves on.
I don't know who John Moran is going to be dunking on in this game, but I do know that I'm going to dunk on you for this pick because I am taking Minnesota here on the money line, in large part because Minnesota is an incredibly streaky shooting team. And going up against Memphis, you know, I have not trusted this Memphis half-court offense for a long time. Usually it's been about offensive rebounding for them. They haven't been very good as far as that's concerned in the playoffs, against this team at least. And, yeah, John Morant's been able to produce a lot, but Minnesota's streakiness means that they are probably due for some positive regression to the mean. Look at these playoff series. 81st percentile in shooting in Game 1, all the way down to the 9th percentile in Game 3. They are due to come back at home. I think Minnesota forces another game in this series.
I got posterized, Lisa.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, Ed is tall. I bet he can dunk. All right, you guys, the total for this one is much higher than all of tonight's games. Right now it's set at 229. Ed, is this game going over or under 229? What do you think?
Well, because I think Minnesota is going to win this game outright, it's in large part because you have a lot of guys like Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, who are able to produce a lot either on their own or with some pick and rolls, things like that. So for Minnesota to win, it has to be a higher scoring game. And so a bit of a parlay, so to speak. I'm going over.
You're going under. Oh, are you going over?
Yeah,
you're going over.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going over because this over has gone 230 points in this series, 3 out of 5. 229 is actually a little bit low for what we've seen in this matchup. And it's an elimination game. You're going to have those, you know, intense fouls maybe at the end if it's a 5-6 point game. I say this hits the over too.
All right, I didn't know if there was like some uncertainty, but yeah, like we're all going to go over. I'll go over too. Why not? All right, some big name players in this matchup as well. So we're going to hit some of the props for these guys. We got to start with John Moran. I just talked about him. He's really showing off his skills on a national stage. Happy for this guy. Is a prop of 36.5 points plus assists. Dave, over or under?
Over. Take the assists out. I mean, this is a guy that on any given night can score 36 or 40, let alone the assists that he's going to pick up. You know, he's going to dunk on a lot of people. That's 20 points right there. 10 dunks. That's what's he need? Another 16 points and an assist? Easy, Ed.
Easy.
Little low-hanging fruit there. Okay, pick it up, everybody. For Minnesota, Anthony Edwards is their rising star here. Ed, over or under 23.5 points for him?
He is a data scientist's best friend. He is an analytics BFF. Look at his shot chart. It's all about threes or getting layups or dunks down low. That's exactly what you should be doing. To heck with the mid-range game. Because he is efficient, I'm going over.
I need to get you a T-shirt that says that. I love that. An analytics BFF. All right, from a #1 overall pick in the draft to another here. We've got Minnesota's Karl Anthony Towns as a prop of 36.5 points plus rebounds. Dave.
I think he gets this. You know, that's the same number as Ja, except it's rebounds instead of assists. Obviously, he's going to be able to have a pretty good game on the boards, but he's another guy that he scored 60 in a game this year. So 36.5 points and rebounds. Let's go over.
Yeah, let's take it. All right, you guys. Right now, only one second-round matchup is set. That's the second-seeded Boston Celtics taking on the third-seeded Milwaukee Bucks. These two teams will play game 1 of their series not until Sunday. Tip time, 1 p.m. on ABC, and the line at the Fanduel Sportsbook is Bucks +5. So we're going to get everyone's take on this matchup. Dave, I'm going to start with you. Who do you like here on Sunday?
Bucks +5. John Sheeran had a few too many pints. Shouldn't this line be maybe 2.5, 3, 5? Okay, Middleton is out. That's fine. I'll take the +168 on the money line. I think that the Bucks win this series and win this game to get things started. That line is out of whack to me.
Do I have to dunk on you again, Dave?
Try.
I guess I will, because I'm taking the Celtics. I'm laying the points in this one. If you look at all the different five-man lineups in the playoffs so far, the most efficient one, offensive and defensively, belongs to Boston. And keep in mind, yeah, I know the Nets got swept, but that was really stiff competition for Boston to get in round one. Absolutely swept them, looked dominant. There's a reason for that. That five-man lineup with Jason Tatum, it's been just incredible. Marcus Smart, all those guys. It's been fantastic. I think Boston covers.
Well, I think the Nets didn't care about playing defense. I mean, defense was optional for them. They didn't travel with their defense at all in that series. I think the Bucks are not a great defensive team, but we know the effort will be there. And look, as far as the Middleton situation goes, I'm shocked how well Grayson Allen has played. He's come off the bench for Milwaukee. He's made a ton of threes. He's been such a microwave player for them. So I think he covers that loss. I'm taking Milwaukee +5, Lisa, and I'm taking them +168 to win game one outright.
Yeah, you're talking about Grayson Allen. He's outscoring the opponent's bench by himself. All right, you guys, that's a breakdown of every NBA playoff game currently scheduled. But we have much more, including our guys' picks for the NBA champion, also NBA Finals MVP. That's coming up in just a moment. But before we get to that, I want to tell you about a fun and free new weekly contest kicking off just this week. And you can win cash just by making a few predictions about Saturday's Major League Soccer games. Check it out. It's the free MLS Pick'em contest presented by Captain Morgan. You'll get points for each correct prediction and can win a share of the $3,000 prize pool. This is a weekly Saturday contest, so make sure you log on each week for your chance at all that cash. Here's the website to enter, fanduel.com/free games/Captain Morgan. That's fanduel.com/free games/Captain Morgan. And remember, it is free, so check it out right now. And each and every week, you must be at least 21 years old to enter. Good luck and have fun. All right, y'all, let's turn it back to hoops, the NBA here, and let's focus on some futures bets. We're going to fast forward here to the very last matchup ahead of us and pick the teams that will be representing each conference in the NBA Finals. You guys good with that? All right, let's start in the East. You can see the odds on your screen right here. I want to get all of you to give me your pick. Dave, you're first.
I'm going with Milwaukee. Now, they need to get past Boston, obviously, without Middleton, but if they do that, he potentially should be back for the rest of the playoffs, or at least let's hope he will. But I think they could get through this series. Grayson Allen pointed out he's having a good series. But Pat Connaughton, I mean, he's another guy that's been very effective off the bench. Drew Holiday needs to make a lot more shots than he has been. He's streaky. He was not very good in his last game, and they still won. But if he makes shots, we know Giannis is going to do what Giannis does. I think Milwaukee is the team.
I like Miami here at nearly 2-1. Path matters in terms of getting to the finals. And yeah, we can have a nice spirited debate in terms of who's going to win the series between Boston and Milwaukee. But guess what? That just means the series is going to go for a while. Meanwhile, Miami is going to get a depleted Philadelphia team or a depleted Toronto team. They're going to have an easier path, probably fresher, fewer possibility for injuries. I think Miami can get to the finals.
Yeah, I'm a big believer that in today's NBA, it's offense that wins, not defense. So all the old heads out there that say defense wins championships, frankly, I think they're wrong with the modern NBA. And Milwaukee's the best offensive team. They score more than anybody in the East. They shoot the three better than the Celtics. And they've got Giannis, the most complete player. I'm taking the Bucks.
Wow, I feel like that's a safe play. All right, you guys, same drill except for the West. Now we're going to go around the horn again. Dave, who's your Western Conference champion?
Oh, it's the Suns, and they're not even favored anymore. Everybody's on Golden State. No, thank you. The road goes through Phoenix. They had a great regular season. They're going to have the home court, and I think the odds are great right now that they're not even the chalk.
I was on Golden State, if you recall, so I'm basically pot committed at this point. Talked about the great lineup that Golden State has. And remember, Draymond Green and Steph Curry have not played much in the regular season together, but now that they have, unbelievable.
I've always been a value bettor. I think that Utah is going to come back to beat Dallas. So if Dallas is 5-1 right now, Utah is 32-1. If they win that series, it flips. So give me the team that's 32-1 right now and is going to make it to the second round.
All right, guys, so now we have the teams you think will be playing in the finals. Let's get to the end of that series and see about which team will be the crowned NBA champion when it's all said and done here. Once again, odds right there on your screen. Dave, who do you like and why?
I'm sticking with Phoenix. They've been the best team by far throughout the year. A little bit of hiccup with Devin Booker going down, but he'll be back. And I think they're offering great value right now. They were plus 270 when the playoffs began, and now they're up to almost plus 400. Thank you.
Going with chalk and Golden State at 3-1. I'm expecting a Warriors Heat NBA Finals, and I don't think that Heat's vaunted zone defense is going to do very much against that death lineup of Golden State. Even the second tier in terms of Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins, they're capable of producing a lot of offense on their own. I just don't know how Miami can stop everybody.
Well, the second highest scoring team in the NBA is Memphis. So what I do here is I look at the teams on that graphic, and I ask myself, how many of them can win an NBA championship? I think the top 6. So I'm going to take the team with the best odds there, Memphis 10-1 to win the championship.
All right, great stuff by you guys. Let's focus now on which player will shine during that final series. The Fanduel Sportsbooks odds for Finals MVP are on your screen right now. Dave, you going chalk? Or you like a long shot here?
No, I like Devin Booker. He was plus 950 yesterday. I think that plus 750 is a great indication that his hamstring is getting better day by day, and he's looking to play maybe a Game 7 if they need it, which I don't think they will, but he'll be ready to go for the next series. Give me Booker.
I have Golden State winning it all, but I'm going to go with Draymond Green getting MVP honors, in large part because if Miami, the final I'm expecting, slows that series down, then it's going to be an individual defensive stopper who may stand out a good bit more than, say, one guy who's shooting lights out. And Draymond Green's defense, we know, some of the best that we've seen in NBA history. I think he is the Finals MVP.
Well, can someone explain to me, if the Suns are still such a popular pick, why is Ayton so low? I mean, he's very capable through rebounding and being a double-doubles machine of becoming the most dominant player for the Suns in an NBA Finals victory. So I just don't understand why he is so far down the board. I think he's amazing value. I would bet him.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, zip it. Stop complaining, Pony. Just take it. Load up on Ayton. Great stuff by you guys. Before we go, I got to tell you about a couple of special offers here. And we're going to start with the Fanduel Casino. And this one is for all new players. Welcome. Check it out. New users who download the app and sign up for a new account can play Fanduel Casino games risk-free for up to 24 hours. That means at the end of your first day of play, if you're down money, you'll get it back up to $1,000. The special promo is for new players 21 or older in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and West Virginia. So make sure to download the Fanduel Casino app and sign up for a new account to take advantage of this 24-hour and $1,000 risk-free offer. It's the Fanduel Casino app. And lastly, I have to fill you in here because the Kentucky Derby is right around the corner. Horse racing's most famous race, and TVG is giving new players a surprise Derby sign-up offer. That's right. New users, go to tvg.com/bestbet to see what this surprise is built at and build your Derby bankroll. From there, you got to check out the surprise. And before you place your Derby bet, download the TVG app to get access to picks, analysis, and wagering advice from the top industry experts. It's all on the TVG app. That'll do it for us. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Enjoy the games, and we'll see you right back here next time.